Why did India never have hats? Even though it's always been so sunny and hot, we had a pagari, but no headwear with a brim. How, that's an interesting question. I think somebody who is into the field of sociology should take this up. Interesting question. Uh, we had pagari. So what does a pagari, a turban, do? It not only kind of keeps the sun away, it also mops up your sweat because India is hot. India has, in the past 2,500 years, 3,000 years, had a reasonably hot climate. Before that, India had a cooler climate and a heavier monsoon. But in the past 3,000 years, we've had a reasonably hot climate. Um, yeah, it's a really interesting question you ask. How come we never developed hats with brims? We always had pagaris, that sort of headgear, and only males wear that. Ladies don't wear that, right? I cannot think of any ancient statue or carving of any Indian person, female, of a lady wearing a pagari, right? Interesting, very interesting. Don't think I have the answer to this question. Well, that's not often that it happens, right? So McLevin has asked a very interesting question here, and yeah, I'll have to ponder about it. I'm not able to give you an answer right now. How did that not evolve? And to understand, to kind of go in the direction of understanding the issue and trying to find an answer, a plausible answer to this question, one has to go into the history of hats. So hats is something you have in Europe, right? It's a Western concept of hats with brims. What's the history of hats and caps? That's something you do go into to understand how that particular piece of attire emerged in Western society. If you look at nations like Russia, etc., they also don't really have hats. They used to have these fur caps that are like snug on your head, but they don't quite have brims. Interesting question. So yeah, maybe I'll do some research about this and get back to you maybe in a future episode. Interesting question you asked, sir. I really appreciate that.